All right, look. So, in recent events, with the statue being taken down and the white supremacists doing what they did, David, I never once came out and claimed that I supported what Trump did or back up his idea. In context, I thought he was talking about two sides of the issue as a whole and not in the specific event. In this specific event, the people who were taking on the statue were being passive and not hurting anybody, and I never once said that I agreed with people doing what they did to them. Ever. Okay? I didn't know that Donald Trump removed the KKK from the terrorist watch list. I didn't know that. That goes real well along with when David Duke endorsed him, and he said he didn't know who David Duke was when we all knew that was bullshit. Never once in this conversation that we're having, you're putting words in my mouth saying that I support him, and I support that, and I don't. Okay, what I told you the other day should lead you to believe that. Of course I don't fucking support that. But I look at things on a case-by-case basis, okay? I'm not in support of racism. I'm not in support of anything like that. And the fact that I have to keep reiterating this to you leads me to believe you're either trolling or you're not listening. When I said that there's an antagonist and a protagonist in the everybody else and Black Lives Matter movements, what I meant was this. You have two groups of people standing, yelling and screaming, but all they're doing is standing, yelling and screaming. Nobody is talking. Okay? Nobody's talking. You have the Black Lives Matter people that are shutting down the streets and starting riots, and you have the people that are opposing them that are doing the same fucking things. And nobody's meeting in the middle saying, hey, maybe we should have a conversation. I don't get why me having that mindset is so offensive to you. I don't get it. I'm not at all saying I think Trump is good, because I don't, and you know this. Do I think Trump's a racist? Fuck yes. Do I have friends on my Facebook page that are constantly quoting Trump and saying, if you don't like it, get out? Fuck yes. They're even telling that to me. And I was in the military. I should have first off, every American should have a right to say what the fuck they want. But I was in the Army. You figure if you're going to tell someone to get the fuck out of the country, it's not going to be someone who served it. But that's his supporters. Okay? But I'm not going to get loud and start screaming and get all emotional because nobody's listening to that. If anybody was listening to that, there wouldn't be a Black Lives Matter movement. What I'm saying is I do not support racism. Okay, and do not misquote me on that. I fucking told you in the beginning of the conversation you were going to do that. What I'm saying, and I'm not typing this, I'm making the video to make this more clear. You have everybody on this side and everybody on this side. And I'm not saying left and right as in politics. I'm saying you have two groups of people both standing, facing each other. And right there, that's the line. You have one group on this side, one group on this side, and all they're doing is getting in each other's faces and yelling and not listening to each other. Nobody's listening to the Black Lives Matter people, and nobody's listening to the people that are protesting the Black Lives Matter protests. Nobody's listening to either side. Everybody is there yelling and screaming and getting emotional and fighting and starting riots. And at the end of the day, nothing is accomplished by two groups of emotional people that are yelling and screaming. The position I take, which again I don't know why it's so offensive to you, is maybe we should meet in the middle. You know, presidents, they can be impeached. They don't have to serve their full term. And if everyone was done fucking fighting and arguing with each other and fighting each other, maybe we could come to the table and say, hey, listen, you know, I'm calling you racist and I'm calling you sexist and I'm calling you this and that. And let's stop making emotional arguments. And the people who have some common sense can sit in the middle and talk about it and work things out. Things don't get worked. Why do you think when married couples or any couples or anybody, when there's two people fighting, it's always beneficial to have an arbiter, not solve an argument between two angry people. It's beneficial to have an arbiter because the arbiter can be impartial and they can talk to both sides and say, hey, listen, maybe you give a little here and take a little there. Hey, listen, since they're giving a little here and taking a little there, maybe you give a little here and take a little there. And then we can get done with all these fucking riots and get back to acting like civilized humans. Trump got put in power by people that believe like Trump. I didn't vote for him. I was a Rubio guy. Everybody knows that. But Trump got put in power by people that think like him. Okay? So, yelling and screaming and being emotional like him isn't going to help because that's the kind of... those are the people that support him. If we could stop on both sides, if both sides would stop for just a second and stop fighting and stop arguing, we might be able to have a solution to this. Now, I'm not saying what happened recently was okay, because it wasn't. People were targeted because of their skin color, and, you know, people wind up dying, and I'm not supporting that, okay? All because of a statue, which I also think things like the Confederate flag and stuff should be removed. I agree with that. I agree with that totally. In this instance, it was definitely the anti-protesters that were in the wrong. I'm not denying that. And for some reason, you keep trying to imply that I am. So I'm going to put it out on record so everybody can see it. And if need be, I'll screenshot the conversation. I'll try to edit your number out. And I'll screenshot the conversation so everybody can see it. I do not support racism. And quit trying to fucking say that I do.